What's up, good people? It's your boy Travis here from Craf-T Designs, bringing you day 11 of the Craf-T Elf 12 Days of Sublimation Series. Today is Christmas Eve, y'all. It's Christmas Eve, and today I'm going to show you a thorough step-by-step tutorial on how I sublimated on this tumbler. Alright. So if you are ready to get into it, let's hop into it. Let's go. Alright, let's talk about supplies. So I have a heat gun that I will be using to adhere the shrink wrap when I put the tumbler in. So also you get your sublimation paper. You're gonna need that. Don't forget your tumbler blank. I'm using a 20-ounce skinny tumbler. Your heat resistant tape. You're gonna need a cradle if you want to use it. I have a box cutter just because, and then the print. You're gonna need that. Alright, so I'll be using Canva to design the picture this go around. So first things first, I already uploaded my picture in Canva. Now I'm going to resize the actual page of the document. So my width, I'm doing 9.31 inches. Then my length, I'm doing 8.14 inches. Again, these are the settings that work for me. If you have settings that worked for you in the past, then please continue utilizing those. Alright, so again, I'm just resizing the actual page to fit my my dimensions for my tumbler, or that I want to work with. And then after I have resized my page, I'm now going to resize the actual image. So the size I'm going to resize the actual image, as you will see here, is it will be 7.5 inches width and then 6.8 inches height. Alright, so just look at that, and then once I'm done resizing my photo, I go ahead to save and download it as a PDF. Okay, very important to download it as a PDF. Alright, now that we downloaded it as a PDF to our computer, we are now opening it up to print. So open it up from your computer, of course. And then I'm using my sublimation printer, my Epson EcoTank 1500, changing it to borderless on US letter size. Press fill the entire paper because I will be removing some of the excess white you see on the image there. Then go to my print settings. I'm changing my quality from normal to fine, and don't forget to mirror your image, very important. Press OK, then send it over to print. Alright, now it's time to prepare our blank before we press it. So you'll just see me here removing, as I said, all that excess white space from the print before I go ahead and apply it to my tumbler. So I'm using a ruler and I'm using a box cutter just to get those precise cuts off the print. Alright, now that I have cut off the excess parts, I am just putting it on my tumbler just to make sure that it is lined up with what I like, and it does. So now the taping process begins, y'all. Here we go. You want to make sure that you're using a good amount of tape to make sure that they're tightly pressed together, and I'm using my squeegee just to get that excess air out. Okay. Alright, now that I have successfully wrapped my tumbler, I'm putting it into the shrink wrap and then taking my heat gun to apply some heat to it just so the wrap shrinks and it tightly secures the tumbler within, which tightly secures the print onto the tumbler even more. So when I put it to heat up. Now that the prep is done, time to press. Alright, y'all, don't judge my little easy bake oven. So I got this off of Facebook Marketplace, and I will be using this this is what I typically use when I'm doing my tumbler. So I have a tong that I pretty much take out, and I preheat this oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Then I put my blank in, and I turn it every 3 minutes. So the first 3 minutes, it's in there baking. Then I rotate it. Then for another 3 minutes, I let it bake. Alright, once it's done, you just take it out and start that unraveling process. Alright. And just look at these final results, y'all. Look at these final results. Alright, crafty people, so that is the end of day 11's tutorial. If you haven't checked out days 1 through 10 as yet, please go ahead and check it out. But if you want a quick recap on what we made during those days, let me give it to you real quick. Alright, so day 1, we sublimated on a mug. Alright, day 2, we sublimated on a t-shirt. Day 3, we did a mouse pad. Day 4, we did a puzzle. Day 5, we did a kitchen towel. Day 6, we did a pillowcase cover. Day 7, we did some fancy coasters, car coasters and regular coasters. Day 8, we did some blinging keychains. Day 9, we did some socks, some Grinchy socks. Day 10, we did a tote bag. And day 11 today, we just wrapped up making this tumbler. Alright? So, if you know someone that's starting their sublimation journey, looking for easy beginner tutorials, go ahead and share these videos with you. I have just compiled 11 easy tutorials, easy sublimation projects that if someone that's starting out in sublimation, that is something that they can do. Alright, y'all, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share this with somebody, repost it wherever, and tune in tomorrow, Christmas Day, for a special surprise. Alright, stay crafty. See you all tomorrow. Happy holidays.